Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and GameStop delivered again. I gotta give them their props. Ordered this copy of Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for the Vita. Wasn't sure if they were gonna send it to me complete, but they did. So I was pretty pleased with that, and the game looks to be in pretty good condition. Just had some sticker residue that I had to try and wipe off. I think I got most of it off, but yeah, I think I got most of it off. Maybe there's a few little specks, but overall, a very good condition copy of Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. And this is a game that I'd actually enjoy playing on the Vita. Not that I wouldn't enjoy playing it on the obviously on like the bigger screen, like a PlayStation 3 or something like that. But I just feel like I'll probably have less motion sickness playing it in a handheld mode. And it's been a while since I've added like solid titles to my Vita collection. And so far this month, I've done a pretty good job. I added Silent Hill Book of Memories, which is very interesting. I didn't even realize that that was a game. Where is it at? I think I have it right here. Yeah, so here we go. So I added Silent Hill Book of Memories, and I also added Final Fantasy. So we've had some pretty good PlayStation Vita additions so far this year. I think this was last month. This was also the end of last month as well. So this was a trade. This actually didn't come from GameStop. This was just a trade that I did to pick this one up. Was glad about that one. These two were games that I found at GameStop. So this one I actually found in store. So that was pretty cool. A little bit of sticker residue there on that. And then this one was the one that I ordered from the website. So I'm not sleeping on the Vita. You know, I know a lot of people have probably given up on the Vita. They're not super interested in the Vita. I feel like a lot of people have moved on from it. And when a lot of people do talk about the Vita, they talk about it, you know, from an emulation sense. I feel like I hear more people talking about how to leverage your Vita for emulation and things like that. And it's less about actually having games for the console, which there were some pretty good games for it. So I think you can do both, right? I actually happen to have two Vitas. I had considered selling one of them, but a few of you commented on that video, and you kind of made me rethink my approach with that. A lot of you talked me into thinking about turning one of them into an emulation device. So that's something that I'm going to be looking at. Also, got this copy of Street Fighter Alpha 3. Very interesting on this one. So this is just the case and the manual. I was able to get this on Mercari for $3. So, not gonna pass that up. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is actually one of my, I don't want to say my favorite fighting games, but it is a very fun fighting game. I've been wanting to get a console-based version of Street Fighter Alpha 3 for some time that wasn't tied to like a Capcom Fighting Collection or something like that. I just wanted to get a standalone Street Fighter Alpha 3 game. The PlayStation 1 version, I think, is actually more expensive than the Dreamcast version. Even though the Dreamcast version probably plays better. But yeah, so I actually got a copy of Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the Game Boy Advance. And don't get me wrong, that is a graphical and technical marvel to be able to play Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the Game Boy Advance. I think they did a really good job with porting that game to the Game Boy Advance. However, it is lacking in certain areas, especially when it comes to like the voice acting, some of the music, things like that. So glad to have this. So I had to order the disc only, and I was able to find a disc only copy online. It was an eBay pickup, but it is what it is. It was $35. So for $35, I'm not mad at that. Essentially completed this for basically $40, essentially. So feel pretty good about that. That was a cool ad. And then just moving back to GameStop. So as many of you know, I had ordered a copy of Super Smash from GameStop's website, and they sent me like the most burnt out copy of Super Smash Bros. Ordered another copy, and this time they did right by me. So they sent me a good copy. This copy is more legit. This one will actually stay in the collection. You might be wondering, like, you know, Y2K, why are you getting Super Smash? There are certain Nintendo games that I will buy and add to the collection that I know aren't going to be ported to another system, and are kind of pretty much locked to the system they're on. There isn't going to be another version of like the original Super Smash that gets like a physical release on any other console. You might be able to play like the original Smash on like the Nintendo eShop or like on the N64 basically the emulator that they have on Nintendo's on the Switch ecosystem. You know how like you have the NES player, the SNES player, the N64 player. They even have the Sega Genesis player. So you can play this game in other ways. But to have a physical copy of the game, I believe the only physical release it got was on the N64. And it's the same way with Melee, Brawl, Smash Wii U. It's just the way Nintendo is with some of these games. So I did want to have an original copy in my collection. I thought it's a very cool game. This is the Smirsh the Smirsh. This is the first Smash Bros game that I played growing up, and a lot of memories on this one. A lot of Friday nights, hanging out, chilling out, playing this. So it was good. So I mean, yeah, overall, GameStop definitely coming through this month. I've had a better experience with these GameStop pickups, and then on top of that, one other game that I'll share is this game that I found. So this is 3D Dot Game Heroes. Found this at a GameStop. They had it there. This is an Atlas game, and it's a very interesting looking puzzle game. I had never seen this game before, and it just looked very interesting from a puzzle standpoint. And it didn't really look like a game that you would see from Atlas, but it was super interesting. And so I went ahead and snagged this one up. I'm really going to dive into this to see what it's about. Wasn't in the best condition. It looks like there may be a little water damage to it, which is a bit of a bummer. It wasn't so excessive that it was like, oh, I'm not going to pick it up. But there was some water damage to this one. But it was complete, which is good. I'm glad that the game was complete. The manual is like in pristine condition. The disc is great. It's just that cover art is a little wavy. So we're going to hang on to this. Who knows? Maybe I'll run into another copy, or maybe the case, and then I could just do a swap for the cover art. But this was another pretty cool pickup and another pretty cool find that I found at GameStop. So they're getting, we've been having the conversation about inventory and GameStop and where the good games are going and how to go about picking up games. And I mean, honestly, if you're in an area where you don't have any GameStops, or the GameStops near you do not have anything good, give their website a try. Now, of course, that's unless you can't, that's only if you can't find the game you're looking for cheaper on like a Facebook Marketplace, or if you don't find it in the wild at like a flea market or yard sale or something like that. But, if you're just looking for a place to kind of pick up some games that, that aren't going to be necessarily eBay prices, that are maybe just a little bit cheaper, GameStop does have some of these games for cheaper, because Sly Cooper was about 25% to 30% cheaper than what it goes for on eBay. Same thing with most of the pickups that I've gotten from their website, including Family Guy. So some pretty cool stuff. I'm expecting to do some Switch pickups this weekend. It's Wednesday, it's hump day. Having a solid day at work. Just took some time away. I usually like to step away, just catch my breath. Just step away to make a quick video. Let me know how your week is going. Let me know if you have any pickup plans for this weekend. What are you collecting? What are you adding to your collection? Let me know down in the comments. I'll catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.